Dragon Quest, such a beloved childhood series. Oh, and Pokemon, such a beloved childhood series. If only I could play both at the shit! Hey, my name's Zerof, and this is Dragon Quest Monster Joker. I love this game. To this day, this is the only monster collecting game where I've legitimately caught them all. I knew for sure I wanted to review this game at some point, but I felt that wasn't enough to show off just how much this game has going on. So I'll also make this my first challenge run. We will beat the game using only members of the Slime family. So look at that. You get my usual review, and you fuse it with a challenge run to— crap, it's positive. Now I can't fuse with my other great idea. We have quite the journey ahead of us, so let's begin. In jail, off to a great start. Our hero shall be named Giraffe, and he's something of a delinquent who tried running away from home to join the Monster Scout Challenge. Right, our father's name is Trump, so the main character would be Baron God Emperor Trump, but that shouldn't affect the plot too much. Baron, you thought you could self-deport, but I won't let you. No, I won't. I hate when he does this. Instead of letting you go, I'm giving you a mission. Go do exactly what you wanted to do in the first place, but I'll take credit for it when you succeed. Okay? I've been waiting for you, Giraffe. Yeah, this ain't my first time in prison. Let's get it over with. This guy reaches into his pants and pulls out 3 starters, which do not include a slime. Rules time. We cannot start with a slime. And there is a non-slime monster we get as part of the story, so we have to make an exception for the starter and the plot monster, but aside from those, the rules are as follows. 1. We may only scout, fuse, or otherwise obtain monsters of the Slime family. 2. This is a JRPG where you can just out-level most of your problems, so I will be imposing a level cap of 20 on mini-bosses and all mandatory fights of the game. 3. All items, weapons, skills, and other tools are allowed. I think this is a great challenge, as the rules are lenient enough to make this fun, but I will have to work for it. So back to the starters, I just go with Draki since it was my favorite as a kid, and I'm not going to do special nicknames unless I'm sure a monster will stick around for a while. Oh, but that hard R makes me uncomfortable. Let's go with a nice soft Draka instead. Now we finally get rolling to the archipelago the game takes place in. I love this setting. The jet skiing to all the different islands is peak childhood adventure to me. We arrive at the monster-free island of Domus, which will act as a hub. The main plot is still being put up, so to kill time, we go to Weenie Island General. Oh, and would you look at that? Literally the first thing you can scout. I made the Pokemon comparison earlier, but this game is actually a Shin Megami Tensei clone using Dragon Quest monsters, and for what it is, it's great. This was my first exposure to both Dragon Quest and Shin Megami Tensei mechanics, and I later became a big fan of both. The combat is just standard for a turn-based JRPG. You have physical attacks, magic attacks, heals, buffs, damage types and weaknesses, your stats are self-explanatory, and the most basic equipment and items. The draw to this system is team building using the various Dragon Quest monsters. Unlike Shin Megami Tensei, we don't converse with monsters to recruit them, we punch them. Might makes right in the wild, and if you're strong enough, they'll join you. But there's always a tiny chance to get monsters that are too strong for you, which is fun. We acquire 3 slimes, and Draka has served his purpose. Slimes come with the Slimer and Attack Boost skill sets. At certain levels, monsters gain skill points, which are spent on their skill sets to learn new attacks, spells, to gain stats, to gain resistances. Infinite Island only has these generic slimes right now, so we can just progress into a cave, which is much more threatening to our thin-skinned slimes, but we make it through. We walk around these ruins and encounter a potential wife fighting a female dog. No, other way. The girl is named Solitaire and is quick to blame us for the dog getting away. Ignoring that, we take the Scout's Pledge and head back to Domus Island for the opening ceremony.
So the first challenge of this contest is to find 10 pieces of enriched uranium and dump it into this disposal bin.
Well, that sounds simple enough. All we have to do now is explore, and our first candidate is Zerof Island, a bowl of desert, home to, drumroll, one species of slime. The heel slime helps diversify our party, in addition to not being the weak-ass generic slime. Almost every island has one of these inns, which is also where you fuse monsters and purchase new items. This island presents new weapons, but the only weapon our slimes can equip is the Iron Lance, which is strong against slimes. Strange. Many weapons are especially effective against certain types of monsters, but unlike the weaknesses in Pokemon or Shin Megami Tensei, these are minimal. More often, it's better to just have the highest attack stat. We travel down to the center of the island where we find our first Darkonium crystal. 9 more to go. I grind until I finally have 2 slimes level 10. This means we can finally talk about fusion. Again, unlike Shin Megami Tensei, you can't just fuse whenever you want. Monsters have to be level 10 or above for fusion, so despite there not being a thought behind those eyes, even slimes understand the age of consent. And so we get to fuse our 2 slimes to make a slime +1. Yeah, inbreeding is not the way forward. Back in the bowl, I encounter our first rival scout. The random NPC fights are awesome. Lots of XP, gold, chances of items, and you can totally steal their monsters and vice versa in rare cases. We've been getting 24 XP a fight, and this, whoo, yeah, do these every chance you get. Now I've grinded enough to have a real fusion between a slime and heel slime to create a she slime, which I named Bo because of Rocket Slime. Our previous slimes were all F rank, while Bo is E rank. The different monsters are divided in rank from F to A, then S, then X. And ranks matter a lot. Higher ranked monsters will have higher stat growth while taking more XP to level up. So you can't get attached to your low ranked monsters because they will be outclassed so fast. If you need a good example of why rank matters, Bo has identical stats to my other slimes at literally half their level. This shiny new slime gives me confidence to tackle our next hurdle. The dog from earlier is getting thrashed by an orc, which is the first boss of the game, and even with a party of mostly the weakest monster in the game, he's a joke. We take the dog back to the Pokemon Center when the Commissioner conveniently appears as the only one who knows how to treat this strange monster. He mentions something called the Incarnus, which he's looking for, but moves on, leaving us with the dog, who can talk. We agree to help him reach some shrine on this island, and I name him the same thing I named him as a kid. All caps, Wolfie. We run back through the tunnel and emerge on the opposite side of the island, open the shortcut, and head straight into Shrine 1, which is as simple as it gets. Just follow these glowing sigils. We get a second Darkonium crystal and an Yggdrasil leaf, which is a revive. Now to face the Dragon Quest 1 reference, Golem, a rank A mineral monster. I buff Bo with some oomph powder, and yeah, that's worth it. My normal slimes are kinda useless here, but we claim a victory. Wolfie completes his goal and begins to transform— oh wait, this is the bad one, isn't it? Oh god. Yeah, your form bothers me. You look like those genetically engineered chickens from Squidbillies. Well, sunk cost fallacy be damned. We agree to take Wolfie to the other 3 shrines he needs, which will be the main quest for the majority of the game. Each temple transforms Wolfie and gives us a spell to use. This temple gave us Zoom, which teleports us to the last inn we stayed at. Now that we're done on this island, we move on to the 3rd island. But while we ride over there, I want to examine this early portion of the game, as I believe this is the moment we fully enter the mid-game. I don't really like the beginning of this game. It's very well designed for tutorial purposes, but I feel like it kneecaps the rest of the game. Since you need a monster to be level 10 to fuse, you can't do it without grinding on these first islands. I believe this was done on purpose to not overwhelm the player with too much from the start. You can focus on learning about scouting and skill points, The issue is for the rest of the game, when you would want to be doing a large number of fusions, you have to constantly go out and grind in between every step. If I was playing normally, there would be lots of fusion options to try out and special fusions requiring multiple steps, and this tedious level grinding would get annoying real fast. That being said, the combat is intuitive but shows potential for depth, everything is bright, everything is charming. I still had a good time, and I have a good time every time I play through this beginning. Next up, Palish Island, which belongs to Madame Rummy, who is described as a kind and beautiful woman. Oh, who the hell do they think they're fooling? Madame Rummy likes scouts, so all we need to do to get unlimited access to her island is pass a simple test where we kill a number of slimes in a given time. A little Mandingo-esque for me, but easily done. Now we can explore this really pretty garden island, which is home to, get ready, 3 species of slime. We quickly find 2 Darkonium just lying around, and scout a shell slime, a super weak but defensive slime with buff skills. And the real prize? A rank D angel slime, which is not so easy to scout, but I've had worse. And we're not done. I can immediately fuse an angel slime with Draka to get a rank C dragon slime, which I do. This is the one and only drop of non-slime blood in this massive genealogy we're creating. Hopefully that's enough to keep us from getting all Habsburgsy. I decide to enter the shrine and see Solitaire, who still wants Wolfie and offers a trade, but no slime, so we refuse. Inside the shrine, we find the bubble slime, and head back to do some final fusing before tackling the dungeon, which is one of the best. Strong Alice in Wonderland vibe. The dungeon is separated into floors, but they all share this central room, which will have different paths opened on different floors. The 3rd floor hub has another Dragon Quest I reference, the Green Dragon. But, 2/3 of my team is immune to fire breath, so we snag an easy win, rewarding us the Phoenix Scepter, an amazing addition to the monster fusion formula. This weapon, when equipped, makes a monster fuse into itself, regardless of what you fuse it with. So if you have a good monster but want it to have a certain skill set, you give it the scepter, fuse it with a monster that has that skill set, and done. I always like to be cheeky and sneak by these foxes, which gets us another Darkonium crystal and brings us to another boss, Mucifer, an A-rank beast. I use another Oomph Powder and spam Strong Medicine for another win, granting us the evac spell to quickly exit dungeons. Oh yes, please transform. Wolfie has returned to Monkey and explains that he is the incarnate spoken of in legend, come to save the world. We don't really care about this and just keep going. The next step is a bit unclear, so first we need fresh blood in our team. And I know just where to get it. Now that we've defeated Mucifer, we unlock Uncharted Islands. From now on, there will be an RNG chance to encounter small islands filled with rare or unique monsters every time you travel. It doesn't take long to get our first— oh man, it's Romania. It does take some time, but we arrive on Slime Atoll. Oh, that'll do. This behemoth slime could be difficult to scout. I've had worse. And turns out that experience pays off as we get the behemoth slime on our first attempt. The Nat 20 blesses us. Ooh, unfortunately it is too high leveled for anything but fusion fodder. Story progress is actually hidden behind the currently unimportant Infern Island. This island is super cool because you can come here really early and power level if you want, and boy did I as a kid. I also thought it was funny the island looks like a pregnant dinosaur or something. Right in the eye, we find yet another Darkonium crystal. This island does have slimes, but our team is in no shape to scout them, so we advance to Celeste Island, where the next dungeon waits. I take the opportunity to grind some levels and— No. I'm not mentally prepared for this. I thought I had more time. You know how I've been saying, I've had worse. I've had worse. Ladies and gentlemen, may I humbly present to you, worse. At 1%, my time is better spent anywhere else, so for now, metal slimes are just for the XP, which they give a lot of. We get another Darkonium crystal in the field, only 3 to go, then end up with a Behemoth slime and Dark slime for this dungeon, which was never a favorite of mine. Points for effort, the dungeon is complex and pretty cool. There are the solar and lunar halves of the dungeon, and you have to crisscross, do some teleporting, and even use multiple entrances to complete the dungeon. But if memory serves, that means I got stuck for a long time as a kid. The game is certainly meant for younger audiences, but it says a lot they have to literally light the path for you to navigate certain parts. Why stop there? Add the moving sidewalk. Have a service woman point the way so I have someone to sexually harass in the meantime. This is mostly gripes from my childhood. It's not actually that bad. I definitely don't like the dungeon getting interrupted, though. See, Celeste has 2 sides, north and south. We can't get to the north, and thus cannot complete the dungeon, until the Secret Service arrives with a letter from our father. Baron, you're not gonna believe this. That wacko Commissioner Snap is building Satan nukes. He's out of his mind. They call him Dr. Snap. I call him Dr. Snap. That's what I call him. I need you to spend time alone with this old man. You'll be like Anakin Skywalker hanging out with Palpatine. But you won't turn to the dark side and get weird yellow eyes, right, son? Anyways, get it done or you're fired. Well, that was a lot, and unfortunately it's mandatory, so we take a break from the dungeon to advance the C plot, and I decide to scout the slimes on Infern Island now, including a metal slime knight, which will be crucial at the end of the video. Before we face Dr. Snap, we head back to Zerof Island, where the arena has opened, which is a gauntlet of combat. We need to beat the rank C difficulty to get our Darkonium crystal, but we actually lose pretty hard. I go on a serious training montage, and after beating rank C, we're ready for Snap. Despite it being shown at the beginning of the game that random scouts don't get to meet the Commissioner, we get to go right in. He seems occupied, but his secretary literally could not push him out of his office any sooner. We head back to Zerof Island and duel in the arena. It's 4 battles in a row, and credit to the slimes, if they weren't running low on MP, they had a chance of winning it all, but we lose on the 4th and spend the afternoon chatting with the Commissioner. Have you ever wondered where monsters come from? Yeah, Palpatine, we're not falling for it. Once we return to Domus, it turns out someone broke in and stole the plans for the Death Star. Nice bit of espionage, and as a reward for our part, a bridge opens up on Infant Island that conveniently leads to the northern half of Celeste Island. So the dungeon got interrupted by this entire mini-arc, and now we can get back to it. We also get our 9th Darkonium, and instead of doing Northern Celeste, let's sequence break and go to the final island, Furt. On this island, we finish something we started a long time ago. Most of our fusions have been leading to this exact moment. All that rank climbing has led to the rank A, King Bubble Slime. This is the best slime you can get without a specific combination of fusions. And we now officially have one of our 3 final slimes. Say hello to Butterbrain, our cleric. After leveling Butterbrain a bit, we're getting close to level 20, so let's finish up Celeste Island before— Captain Crow? Oh, that's by complete accident too! Awesome! This is a unique side quest that grants lots of XP, items, and an S-rank monster at the end, but no slime, so we gotta move on. Northern Celeste is pretty boring, and the dungeon segment is a quick run, so we get right to the boss. Oh, and the last piece of Darkonium we need. There's more than 10 in the game, so you'll end up with extras. Oh man, the A-rank Great Dragon is such an awesome design, but now that we have a cleric, it's a very easy boss. No, monkey, don't evolve. There's nothing good down that path. Oh, that was an option? We also get the whistle spell, which causes a battle without having to bump into monsters. Our goals are met. Now we just have one shrine for Wolfie's goal, back to Furt, where we need to make some adjustments. We finally hit the level cap, and we have some skill sets ready to level up. Maxing out certain skill sets will produce an improved skill set upon fusion. It costs a couple skill seeds, an item that grants 3 skill points, but I max out Attack Boost 2 and fuse it to get a Dark Slime Knight with Attack Boost 3. Looking good. Leveling up is much easier now that we have the Whistle spell. Amazing ability. Saves time running around, but whistling also has a higher chance of encountering metal slimes. Butterbrain is getting close to level 20, so we head to the final shrine. No dungeon this time, just a boss. Oh, Solitaire's here. She tries rubbing it in our face that she already has 9 Darkonium, but we have 12, so... The final shrine boss is legitimately one of my favorite monsters. The A-rank Demon at Arms, it's over. Demon at Arms can attack twice each turn, but can't outpace multi-heal. This grants us the Vanish spell so we can avoid battles, and Wolfie transforms one final time. Oh, words can't express how hype I was seeing my dragon named Wolfie turn back into a wolf. At this point, we're done with the middle game. The actual Scout Challenge tournament is what I consider the entrance into the end game. This middle section is everything I love about JRPGs. New locations, fun events, lots of options to build my team the way I want. Even as only slimes, I felt satisfied with the progression of monsters. One issue being the lack of fast travel. The islands are connected by specific routes, and you'll have good reason to hop between islands regularly, so having to go through entire other islands every time you want to reach Furt or Celeste, yeah, it's a pain. Back to Domus, we turn in our Darkonium and the finals begin. Also, turns out Solitaire is named Ginny Rummy, so if we do marry her, we'll expect her to age like milk. Wait, shit, we aren't the only Mono Slime Scout in the finals. Does that make slimes meta? Before the tournament starts, we piss off Solitaire, just for good measure, and read another letter from our dad.
You're fired.
Great talk, Dad. The tournament is a gauntlet of 4 opponents in a row. No breaks and no items. Our first opponent, Slimin. I didn't want it to come to this, brother, but you leave me no choice. First turn of the tournament, we miss an attack, and the basic slime crits for 150 damage. Ominous. Second turn, seriously, again? We eventually prove we are the true slime master, but ooh, we finish the fight on very low HP. Our second opponent is Missy, who hits very hard, but since we get our multi-heal in time, she goes down easy enough. Third opponent, Triger, only has 2 monsters, but they are high-ranked and can hit very hard, so... Oh. I guess they were glass cannons. Okay, we enter the final round in good form. Solitaire. Hey! You're not allowed to see the second screen. I keep that screen hidden for a reason. We piss her off one more time for good measure, and she drop kicks our dog? Who does that? Get disqualified. We win. Scout champion of the world, baby. All of our objectives are complete, and the story is over.
Bark.
Wolfie turned to the dark side and got weird yellow eyes. Turns out Snap was making Satan nukes. He gathered Darkonium to corrupt the Incarnus, and instead of saving the world, Wolfie will now end it. The MacGuffin Snap has is a fake, so they leave to find the real one. We try and stop them, but get crackled and popped. Solitaire wakes us up, but now we need to figure out where they went. Except, this is all according to my plan. Oh yes, I knew that Snap knew Wolfie was the Incarnus, and I knew he knew how to turn him evil. I even knew Wolfie knew who knows where the real MacGuffin is, so I obviously know who he knows who knew what he wants to know! So I use Zoom and end up back on Furt Island. I never rested at Domus. Using Vanish, we walk right into an unlocked area of Furt and take a jet ski home. Ah, the Pentagon. Overrun with monsters, but light work for a scout champion. In Trump's office, we face Belial. A pretty tough fight if we didn't have Kabuff, of course. Fun fact, as a child, I still had Draki in my party up to this point. Figured it would evolve someday. Once victorious, we check on our father. Baron, the Antifa nutjobs released all the illegal monsters. It was like the hallway scene from Rogue One, objectively really cool, but within context, it was terrible. You have to stop them. I will, Father. Stop them before they reopen the border to the Dark World and let millions of undocumented monsters flood into our cities. Yeah! They'll fill our hospitals and public transportations. What? They'll start running for Congress. Dad, we are not talking about the same thing right now. Go, Baron. Go. We still need to figure out where Snap went, which you'd find eventually, but I know it's Infern Island, which... love what you've done with the place. This is Infern Island 2. The Dark World is seeping out onto this island, releasing much stronger monsters and one new slime. But first, we enter a new area through the town church. The monsters here are very strong, but easily avoided. We find Wolfie, who is fully committed to evil, but I know how to bring him back. Who's a good boy? No, keep that away from me. What is it? Who's a good boy? Wolfie lashes out. Luckily, all that neglect I've shown him made him very dumb. He just keeps healing my dark slime. I don't know why. Once defeated, we can absorb the dark energy out of Wolfie and get him back into storage. Before us lies the final dungeon. It's big, it's long, and it's hard. But we're flexible. There are multiple paths, several mini-bosses, lots of loot, all kinds of unique monsters, and you know what? We ignore all of that. You heard me. None of that matters. Instead, we stay right here in the first room. This is what we've been working towards. This room is the single most important room in the entire game. Because in this room, we can, in this room, there is, let's try again. God, I had a lot of patience as a kid. Finally. In this room, we can use the whistle spell to encounter liquid metal slimes. These suckers give over 10,000 experience a pop. They have more health than regular metal slimes and the same chance to flee, but it's by far the most efficient grinding method in the entire game. So excuse me while I have one final grinding session. Oh, come on.
Do you drop the item or not?
Just working. Okay, we're back. A lot happened. We cried, we tried some new ideas, grinded a king slime to max level for some reason, and doubled our playtime. See, we needed to get a monster with an absolutely insane attack stat so we could scout metal slimes. Metal slimes all share the metal body trait. This makes them immune to magic, status effects, and even stat drops. All that works is brute force, but even that is a hurdle. Here's how it plays out. When you hit something with metal body, 500 is subtracted from your attack stat before damage calculations. So if your attack is under 500, you can only do 0 or 1 damage because of how damage numbers round to whole numbers. There are anti-metal weapons and attacks, but that basically adds a flat 1 to all of this. Then once your attack is over 500, it still goes through damage calculations with the metal slime's naturally great defense stat. That means an attack stat of over 700 minimum to get scouting values above 1%. Slimes are incredibly weak attackers, but there was one good candidate, the King Slime. He's got high attack for a slime and has the critical massacre trait, which doubles crit chances. But in order to get the attack stat we need, that's not enough. We need more than a king. We need an Ubermensch. Thank God himself, we can trade 2 C-rank slimes for the Warrior Skill Book, which gives one monster the Warrior Skill Set. When you perform a fusion that includes a maxed out attack boost 3 and a maxed out warrior, you unlock the Uber attack boost. There is no HP, it just boosts attack. The Uber skills are very difficult to find without a guide, but I remembered this one. Our Ubered King Slime allowed us to somehow scout a liquid metal slime and 2 solid metal slimes. And remember that metal slime night? It's time. Fuse the metal slimes together, then fuse the liquid metal with the metal knight, then fuse the results to perform a quad fusion, resulting in the Metal Kaiser slime, who I named Salad. An amazing spellcaster with even better defenses. We do a bit more grinding to get the right skill sets, then use the Phoenix Scepter to reset our whole team to level 1. That's right, we're walking into the final dungeon at level 1. The mini-bosses leading to the final boss should get us close enough to the level cap. Back in the first room, we take the first left to enter a room where we can face a boss troll who hits our level 1s hard before dying. Next, we encounter a black dragon guarding some loot, but it goes down much easier since we leveled up. The following rooms are winding hallways, each filled with unique demons and undead. When the path grows narrow, we get attacked by Atlas, but his strength fails against the defenses of Salad. This is the peak. We get some last minute loot, finally dump all of our stat growth items onto the team, and face the final boss at only level 15. Snap reveals he really does want to turn this world into the Dark World to make a paradise for monsters. We stand against him and defend Wolfie with this key item thing. It breaks, but Snap pulls out a juice. The first fight is a couple of goons while Snap recharges. They hit hard, but not hard enough. We prepare to face Snap again, but he gets consumed by the very darkness he was harnessing, becoming a grotesque abomination. Hey, Dr. Snapped? Did you actually take the nickname my dad gave you?
If it fits, it sticks.
Oh, whatever. Final boss, go. This fight caused me so many problems as a kid. Dr. Snapped has a demon at arms for melee and a wretched soul for magic. So many hard hits, annoying spells, and some insane health pool. Oh, perhaps I was mistaken. Despite some very threatening hits, we just hit that much harder. Kabuff keeps the whole party so safe, and Butterbrain heals so quickly. What once stood as a mountain is now nothing but a nuisance. Snap dies pathetically, claiming the Hunter's Mark will be destroyed along with him. Then it just isn't, for some reason. Wolfie takes his final form and leaves to save the world. Good boy. When Wolfie doesn't come back, we go meet Solitaire, who's taken Snap's job, and she sends us back to where it all began. And to the surprise of no one, a dog can always find his way home. What a game. There's so much post-game content too, but not for slimes only. The end and post-game are where you can get very deep into Fusion to climb up ranks. Lots of the S and X ranked monsters are the final bosses of the mainline games, which, because I played this before the mainline, I got nostalgia backwards. I'd see the final boss of, say, Dragon Quest V and go, oh hey, I used to own you. Imagine a slave owner bumping into his former property in line of groceries like, oh, hey buddy, you remember me? This game is definitely slow and even bloated in a lot of ways. The graphics and music hit that Dragon Quest itch and nothing more. Would I still play this without nostalgia? I don't know. I played the sequel years ago and really had no patience for it, so maybe not. I can't really tell if a new player would enjoy this, but I hope this video made it look tempting. I didn't use the large majority of monsters. You can actually get Dr. Snap as a monster. I mean, that's so awesome. I still highly recommend this game, even if the majority of my playtime was grinding or going insane. What do you think? Would you give this game an attempt? Would you give this challenge an attempt? Maybe with a better monster type? Whatever the case, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, a like and subscription mean a lot, and if you didn't like it, well, why the hell not? You better comment and tell me. Anyways, take care.